Hello and welcome to another vlog on FF Lifestyle. This one is going to start off with a little bit of work on Greenie. Really, it's not work that I'm doing. It is a pretty relatively simple job. I am replacing my running boards with some rock sliders, one of the many things that I have coming from Victory 4x4. But in order to get those rock sliders on anyways, I am going to need to take off the factory running boards. Now, the one nice thing, regardless of taking these off for rock sliders or just taking them off in general, is although they are somewhat handy, it's going to give you more ground clearance, obviously, on the bottom of your 4Runner. I think about 4 inches, and it also helps out, in my opinion, appearance-wise, because it gives it this kind of weird look like it is lifted. Not only do I need to take off the running boards, the factory running boards, but I also need to take off the hitch. I have been hitting them with PB Blaster probably about once a week for the past like 3 weeks. Now I have about an hour to do this after work, and I don't know what I think is going to happen, because I hate filming things that I need to work on, gun or car related, because ultimately I get frustrated, I have a temper tantrum, and it's very hard to film during that process. I think they're either going to come off easily, and this will be a cool video, or they're not going to come off at all, and I won't even be showing anyone this video. I'll be starting another vlog at a different time, or I'm going to get like all of them off other than the last one, and the last one's going to need to be cut off. As I've said in previous vlogs, I know nothing about cars. You are learning with me. Before I got Greenie, I didn't even know where to put oil in the car. And now I do, and I do some work on the car, and it's really, really easy to do work on a 3rd gen 4Runner for a beginner. So you guys are learning along with me, and if you see me doing anything absolutely ridiculous or stupid, I probably don't know, and I would appreciate your comments down in the comment section below telling me what not to do. So I'm going to get some tools together. I'm going to switch you guys right now to the Insta360 action cam so I can drag you under the car, and we'll go from there. So we also have beautiful wind chimes in the background, and as a little bit of a, I wonder how this is going to work. Yeah, it's going to work all right. As a little bit of an aside, I got the first bolt out. I wanted to see exactly how much of a bitch this was going to be. Also, if you guys don't like swearing, you shouldn't watch car videos, because this is a pain in the ass, and there's going to be a little bit of swearing. The one thing that I find interesting is how in the hell I'm supposed to get to this bolt up here. So I don't know how much the camera is gonna pick up here, but the bolt that I need to get to is up here, and the nut I'm taking off is on this side, and I got the bottom one off already. So I'm going to try to do somewhat of the same thing. I hit it again with PB Blaster, and I also brushed off the okay, I think that is caught, so that's cool. I also brushed off the threads, which is supposed to help a little bit. Now I'm going to try to get a good angle here on this sucker and try not to cut my shit open. Come on, you bitch! Alright, come on. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, I don't know, guys. On the last one, I put all my might into it with both hands and got it spinning, and then tried to do both. So let me try to do that real quick. Get a better angle. And look. Yeah! That's what I'm talking about, man. Fuck yeah. Alright. And then it wants to fucking, yeah. Dude, there is nothing, God, there is not really a greater feeling than, oof, getting one of them fucking bolts loose here. Good thing to have some iPro on. If you didn't already guess, I'm a little bit of a PPE nerd. But you know what? I'd much rather have iPro than deal with rust in my eyeball for the rest of the evening. Alright. God, you know what kills me is when you, like, there's like 2 threads left. And you're like, there's no way that you wouldn't be able to just get it off with your hand. But, you know, no, you gotta still use the damn ratchet. And just like that, we are free. If I can get this ratchet off. This goddamn bolt. Come on, man. You really gotta wonder how the fuck they even make this like that. Why would you do that? Section number 2 on the driver's side. And get this all situated here. A lot more interesting to do this with a camera. Shout out to good old Harbor Freight on this one for the little rolly crawler thing rolling under, and also this little light, which is actually like a plug-in light, which I am really digging so far because you don't have to worry about like charging it and all that good stuff. No idea how bad this one is yet. So I get my driver on there and we're gonna see what we got. Come on, man. Oh, Jesus. All right, we got it moving. We got it moving. What sucks about rust belt shit is, although you have the right size tool, you don't at the same time, because the rust kind of deforms the rear portion of that bolt, what I'm finding out, and it's kind of in between metric and standard, which is just so much fun. I totally feel those memes of trying to remember lefty loosey, righty tighty under a car. Change of plans. Gotta get a better tool. I swear, dude, it's almost like it is. They used a different bolt on that side. Oh my god, dude. Okay. It's probably my favorite when no matter what you grab, it just somehow still doesn't fit. That's probably the best case scenario for sure. Alright, I am going to continue on. The little rolly thing is nice to roll under, but when I was trying to get leverage to use both of my hands, I was rolling all over the place. So right now, I'm on the last bolt in the front. I got a shitload of rust in my mouth and in my eyes, but other than that, this one actually in the front was not as bad. It's just getting the driver onto the actual bolt, because they're 2 different bolts in the front. They still appear to be 1/2 inch, but this is one long one. And then I think the only thing holding this up, that's why I'm kind of keeping a lot of pressure on it, is there's like a little plug or something in the back that's holding it on there. So I would imagine this just kind of all shifts to the left and then comes off. And if that's the case, we should kind of be in business here. Hopefully, once I get this freaking bolt off. I want to see. Okay, that is totally stripped. Nice. Did I not say that the last bolt was going to cause this to be an all-night affair? It's going to have to get cut. You see it? Because it's off. And it is right, man, this 360 camera is a little crazy. Here is the original. I had to kind of sacrifice the runner, or the original floorboard a little bit by bending it back and forth. The bolt just would not come free. And I ended up, I think I still have it laying around here. Yeah. So I was cutting it and trying to get it all shifted around, and no matter what I did, it would not break free. And ultimately, I still have a little nubbin there, but that's okay. And I'm not going to need that part for my new rock sliders. And I will say, this thing is already looking pretty awesome. It really does make it look like it's lifted, which is cool, even though it's not, and it gives you a lot more ground clearance as well, which is just kind of nice to have. That ended up taking, I don't know, roughly like almost an hour longer than expected. I mean, the other bolts came off relatively fine. It wasn't like brutally hard, but I just was not expecting that front bolt. Essentially, you have like this nut over the top of it, and it's a fixed bolt in there, but it's so far sticking out that you can't get your driver over it, and then on top of that, it's like at an angle, so almost it felt like no matter what I did, I was gonna strip it out, and that's exactly what happened. So probably need more tools on hand, but this is obviously not all going to happen tonight. I got that off, which I wish I got it on camera when it finally dropped free, because that was awesome. I broke a chisel. I broke my Dremel grinding bit cutting this thing off, and I got it off. So don't have any time left tonight to do anything else. All right, we're taking a quick pit stop here. This is from my good friends at Falco Holsters, and it should be a very cool new product for my TRP. They did not pay for this ad space or anything like that. This is just simply a cool little idea that I had to showcase what this should be, which I think is 2 products inside of here. Oof, box got a little chewed up. Thank you, FedEx, for always shipping excellently and ruining a bunch of stuff. Ho, ho, ho. That is looking good, buddy. You guys can't see what it is at all yet, but we got a full-on Embrace the Fud Life shoulder holster for a Springfield TRP and X300. Has me jazzed up right now, man. Look at this. I have never in my life even tried on a shoulder holster. So I'm gonna see what the heck I got going on here. I think it's this way. I think. You guys are riding along with me, bro. This is like, if there's anything to make you feel just like an 80s detective, man, this is it right here. The shoulder holster is the way. And I also, man, I forgot there's 3 things in here. Falco's hooking me all up, man. Okay, so we got the dual inside the waistband mag holster. This is going to be capable of fitting 2 8-round 1911 mags, or of course the 10 rounders would fit in there as well. They're just going to stick out a little bit more. But I got this because my mags, even though I'm carrying inside the waistband, are constantly like teetering out, and it's just kind of a little tough. It's a little annoying, so this should deal with that problem. And this is their F906. One comment that I would make to Falco, and I know this is so difficult because I have so many products, but maybe like different model names because it'd be easier to follow. This is also their new and improved leather gun belt. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this situated real quick. I think after a little bit here of adjustment, I don't know. This is about what we have for the shoulder holster. I'm gonna remove face tracking here so that way you can actually see what's going on. I really gotta get used to this. I am not sure how all this is going, but it's interesting. I will say that. The only thing that's throwing me for a loop, I don't know if I have like a small torso or something, but like, actually I think normally I have a very long torso, so I don't know. It's like, it feels like it's still way too low. Is it supposed to be higher? I don't know. But the other way, the reason that I kind of feel a little strange is because the way that this holster is designed, it kind of sits at a little bit of an angle, I guess, and it just, yeah, it's just different. Love the gun belt, and I think really, you know, interesting, but also like if you go to the gym at all in any capacity, or you're just different type of body type, wider shoulders, whatever, stuff like this tends to fit a little interesting. So I feel a lot of like movement underneath my arms, which I don't know if that would get annoying or not. Like it feels like I got one of the Alti curl things on that Arnie used to use back in the day. But yeah, I mean, draw, oof, almost took out my display. Isn't terrible. It's really not too bad. It's one of their rotating shoulder holsters. So let me try it again here. Got to be deliberate with it. And then, you know, I think it's doable. More for the vibes than anything, but I'm gonna wear it around for an hour or two before I work on the car, and I'm gonna see how I like it. Well, the situation of one bolt ruining days worth of my time was correct. So let me get you guys fast forwarded over the past 3 days what happened. You saw some clips, you saw some removing of the one running board, right? Went to Harbor Freight the next day, got a attachment so that I could actually freaking use my impact driver the way that it should be used, and the second running board came off in a breeze. It was really, really easy to get off with the impact driver. I was like, great, no bolts were ruined, and nothing had to get bent. It was good to go. And then, my friends, we got to the tow hitch, and holy shit, that thing was on there, buddy. I was gonna break out the camera, and it took all of my determination and focus to get this damn tow hitch off of there. Broke 2 bolts, and unfortunately those are 2 bolts that will have to get drilled out because those are 2 slots that the regular new bumper is going to have to go. So that's a bummer, and that's going to create probably hours more work on our overall timeline of getting Greenie all hooked up with the new accessory. So huge bummer there, but ultimately what took days on the tow hitch was the final bolt once again, and that final bolt was right above the exhaust, and I just could not get a tool under there. Finally called over my good buddy Harley, and he came over. He actually was a mechanic, I am not, and he was able to help me get that bolt out. But again, that one we did have to cut. Now, luckily, we didn't have to actually like cut it and then drill it out. It should be pretty good without needing to get drilled, which again is quite the positive. Now, I'm gonna pull over for just a second so that I can show you what Greenie looks like with no running boards and no hitch, because I think it's quite a cool vibe. As you guys can see here, no running boards really gives you a solid look. And it's kind of interesting because the running boards came down about 4 inches. So with no running boards on there, it really does give it the appearance that it is lifted, on top of giving you a lot more clearance underneath the car as well for just overall off-roading stuff. But as you can see here, I'm gonna break out my, my phone camera. We do not have a tow hitch, right? The tow hitch is off. That's looking pretty good. But unfortunately, I wonder if it'll let me flip the camera around. Okay, so unfortunately, boom, 2 broken bolts that are gonna have to get, unfortunately, drilled out. So that's a little bit of a bummer when it comes to just more work that's gonna need to get done on Greenie. So it is a little bit interesting too to get like in and out of the car now, because I'm so used to, over the years, stepping on a running board to get into the car that a few times I have went to step down, I'm like, oh my God, and almost like fall out the car itself. But driving actually better without that on. Now I know that all of the upgrades that I'm going to put on this 4Runner are going to make it pretty much drive like crap until I get a new suspension system. But again, this is not my daily driver anymore. This is more of a camping and fun vehicle. So I'm not too terribly concerned with needing it to handle as good as humanly possible. I just reviewed a lot of the footage from the 360 camera. That's the first time that I've done the 360 camera for a vlog. I did do it for a little bit of e-boarding content, and that I think turned out okay. But talking to it, long strings of vlog content, I don't know how it's going to turn out. It's super weird editing in the Insta360 app. Because it's 360, you have to constantly be kind of like tracking where you want the camera to be placed. So for like 5-minute segments working under the car, I don't know. If it looks really weird and messed up, this won't even matter because you guys probably won't be seeing the video. And if it's out there, not too bad. It's been a mad dash as usual for the past few days. I'm going to wrap this vlog up now and start the vlog for our trip, me and Mary's anniversary trip to Salem. We are leaving for the airport at a ripe hour of about 3:50, 4 o'clock tomorrow morning. So great. Gonna wake up around 3:30. It's about 11 right now. So, oof. I'm going to finish this up now and stay tuned for that Salem vlog because I'm really hoping it's a fun time. We've wanted to go there our entire lives.